Hi, my name is Hassan and I'm not an influencer, I'm a graphic designer. And today I'll be showing you 4 ways to create halftone effects in Photoshop. First thing, you need to make your image as smart object to have everything non-destructively. You can go back and edit things as you wish. So you start by desaturating your image completely, -100, go to filter gallery, and pick halftone pattern, adjust the size, the contrast, the pattern type. You have circle, dot, and line, and you press OK. It's as simple. You can also always go to the blending option and change it. So let's say hard mix. It makes very sharp. Or you can use overlay. I like overlay in this filter. Okay, so this is method 1. What about method 2? Filter, pixelate, color, halftone. And the trick here is to keep all your channels the same number, because this works as the CMYK screen angles on top of each other. So if you have a shifting in one of the screens, you will get colors. So for cyan, this is CMYK channels. For cyan, you will get cyan and red. For the magenta, you will get magenta and green. For the yellow, you get yellow and blue. So CMYK and RGB. So the radius is the size of your pattern. So if you go 22, this is the size you get. If you go 11, it's a smaller size. And also you can do the same thing. You can adjust the pattern blend mode, because this is a non-destructive edit. Okay, so what about method 3? Method 3 is a little different. Method 3 requires you to create a pattern first, and the pattern I'm using is a file of 100 by 100 pixels and 300 dpi. I just fill my background with white, get ellipse tool, draw an ellipse, and make sure it's aligned in the middle. Just go to filter and blur it 10 pixels. So this is what you need to do. Just blur it 10 pixels, and then you can adjust the size. You can go bigger or smaller, as long as the final 2 pixels are completely white. If you do that, you're okay. Just go edit, define pattern. Where is define pattern? Define pattern, and you're good to go. So this is the pattern I've created. So there are 2 ways for method 3. Technique 1, or the first way, is creating a pattern fill, picking the pattern, and I like to give it an angle. I'll go for 45 angle, and then you go to the blending modes and you pick hard mix. You can adjust the fill to get smoother transition. So this is the first way to use a pattern to make the color halftone. So the second way is just pick your layer, go to effects, and use a pattern overlay. In the pattern overlay, also choose hard mix, but this time you can only adjust the opacity. So adjust the opacity. I keep the angle 45. The scale here is 16. It works well. Maybe let's go for 60. 69 is not bad. And here you go. This is the effect. So these are 3 ways to achieve color halftone, not destructively. Now for the last technique, for the last part, you will need to have your image in a different document, because this is very destructive. You go to image mode. You want to access the bitmap, and the bitmap is not accessible until you go to grayscale. So once you have grayscale, so now you can access bitmap. Go to bitmap. Always have to flatten your layers. You cannot have smart object. You cannot have multiple layers. You have to flatten everything. So you flat it, and it tells you the resolution you're giving me is 72 pixels. you can adjust the output. And I've adjusted the output to work well with this image is 150 pixels per inch. I didn't try higher, to be honest. And the method. What kind of method do you want the bitmap to be? So there's multiple methods, but we will just adjust the halftone screen today. Okay, so in here is the frequency of line per inch, or rather the resolution. So the higher the resolution, the less it's visible, I think. 150, I had it for 4 maybe. Yeah, let's keep it 4. So this is how you get the final way of getting color halftones on Photoshop that I know of. If anyone has another method, please let me know in the comments. Okay, so I guess this is it. This is everything I know. Also, there's one thing I need to address. Okay, in the filter gallery, because I've had this problem and I didn't know what caused it at first. So if you have different colors than black and white in your swatches, go to filter gallery. It will give you the filters depending on your foreground and background. So whenever you are trying to use a filter and you have green, for example, you don't understand why. Why is it giving me green? Why is torn edges blue and red? Because I know torn edges always give black and white. This is because you didn't have your default colors as black and white. Okay, that's all, I guess. And thumbs up. Have a nice day.